What's good, YouTube? I'm back at you with another video, and today we're gonna be breaking down 4 effects from the LIL UZI elephant video. And before I get too deep, I want to give a special shout out to a friend of the channel, audio.com. I've gone to audio.com not only for music for my YouTube videos, but also for my client projects as well. I use the AI mastery to just find this LIL UZI inspired background music you hear right now. Whether you're a content creator yourself or need music for a client project, audio.com gets you covered with the hassle-free licensing. There'll be a link in the description below where you can 70% off your first year. I'm gonna also leave a link in the description for the footage I use in this video. If you type of generic and bland stock footage like that, Susan, cover the link in the description. With my playhead over my clip, I'm gonna select the fusion icon. Then on fusion, I'm gonna select my media 1, you control the space, look for the magic mask. I'm gonna select my subject. I'm uncheck post multiply image so I can continue to select my subject. Then I recheck post multiply image and select better, and then I'm gonna track back and forward. Now that I have my subject checked, I'm gonna move the magic mask to the side here in my media 1, and then I'm gonna grab a Mac control node. Mac control node to be found in the toolbar. In the inspector, make sure your first 2 settings are matching mine. So you have combine alpha and have copy. Then the bottom here, post multiply image. So these are not to say this, but default. However, I have to change these settings. If you will right click on the node and go to settings, just save as, flash it'll save the default. Anytime you create the Mac control node, these settings will automatically be applied. I said these is my default because more often than not, these are the settings I'm going to be using when I use this node. However, this step is not necessary, just a helpful tip. We're going to be using the Mac control node because it allows us to apply a mask to our subject without actually being destructive, meaning that it's not actually masking out the footage and just applying the mask for this down the line. So if I right click my media 1 and connect it to the Mac control, so you mean there's a menu, I'm going to select background. Then I'm going to grab a rectangle mask from the toolbar. I'm going to right click on it and connect it to the Mac control and select foreground. Now looking at my media out, you can tell I'm in the second viewer. So right now I'm only seeing the magic mask that's connected back to the media 1. So click on this Mac control and hit 2 in the viewer. Now I can see the actual mask. I'm clicking the rectangle mask, and then I'm gonna right click on width. Those are expressions. I'm gonna take this little pick whip and connect it to height. And all it's gonna do is lock these 2 parameters together. That way I'm gonna change height, the width changes at the same time, keeping the exact same size. I'm gonna go back and click my media out, hit 2 on the keyboard. Then I'll take the output of the Mac control and connect it to the output of my magic mask. It's gonna create a merge and bring them back together. Now I'm between the media 1 and the Mac control. I want to grab a transform node. So I grab it from the toolbar, click into my pipeline. When you see the pipeline turn blue and yellow like this, you can let go, it'll connect itself. Now, with this transform, I can animate the background, but also you can see here my magic mask subject is behind the original clip. So now all we have to do is go to the merge 1. For the operator, just drop down and change it to under. Then go back to the transform. I'm gonna double click the reset. Then instead of keyframe, to do a gain composition at frame 0. I'm gonna always to the end, which in my case will be frame 43. Using the x-axis, I can go to like 10 or 15, something like that. The higher you crank it, the faster it will move. Now as you see here, as I go back to my Mac control and hit 2 on the keyboard, it's black. Basically, once the image leaves, it's just a black background. All I do to fix that is click on transform, go to edge, and change it from canvas to wrap, and just continue to wrap around. Then you go into settings, turn on your motion blur. I can go to 10. Go back down to the media out and hit 2 on the keyboard again, bring back the full composition. I'm gonna go back to this rectangle mask. I'm gonna actually soften the edges a little bit, not very much. If I double click here in empty space, it get rid of the outlines here. I'm gonna kind of put it at an angle. Now I'll go back to the toolbar. I'm gonna grab the brightness contrast node and add it to the pipeline. I'm gonna go on the composition to about frame 20. Then go to the rectangle mask. I'm gonna set a keyframe on the height. Then I'm gonna go about maybe 5 to 10 frames in. I'm just gonna go to 5. Then I'm gonna increase that all the way to 1. I'm also click on angle. I'm gonna hit this little notch here to reset it back to the default. I'm gonna go back to frame 20 and we'll return it back to how I had, which I think is at 2.7. So now with the mask flip the full frame, it will also rotate back to the original default state. Now I'm going to do the merge 1. I'm actually going to make a change. On the operator, I'm going to change it back to over. Then making sure the merge 1 is still selected, I'm going to hit Control T. And basically going to swap the inputs. As you go back, you see my input, the magic mask is in the background and the mask is in the foreground. And then I'm going to set a keyframe on the 25. On the blend on the merge, would it be 100% or at 1? And then I'm going another 5 frames in to about frame 30 and turn this down. So this is gonna make my magic mask subject fade out. Now I'm gonna go to my brightness contrast node, like frame 45 once again. Into the keyframe on gain, I'm gonna go about 2 or 3 frames in to about frame 28 and turn it up to create like this little brightness flash kind of transition. Then I get to frame 30. and back down to 0. There we go into our spline. I'm gonna select the transform node. It's just linear. We're just gonna select all the keyframes by select this icon here at the bottom. Can S this move them out. Click on the rectangle mask. I'm sorry. We'll click here. This is from the feet. So this is gonna do the exact same thing. So it's all frames. It S the smooth. So you will repeat the same thing for the merge one. In the brightness contrast node, you can select it. I'm gonna hit F to flatten. Now back on the edit page to transition between the two clips. I'm gonna go into the effects panel. I'm gonna type in rapid. I want the generators from the first rapid moving pack, which you can find a link in the description. Right now, my packs are buy one, get one free. I'm gonna grab this generator here. Now, generators, if you never used one before, are pretty much like adjusting clips. They have an effect already added to them. I'm gonna bring this down here. I'm gonna hit Control B, click on frames, and I wanna make this like 6 frames long. Basically place it in between the two clips. Now my next clip infusion. In infusion, I'm going to grab the magic mask once again. I'm gonna Control or V hold Command if you're on Mac, and scroll now to the zoom in, and I'll begin making my selection. You may need to correct several different dots just to isolate his eye from the rest of his face. So one problem I run into with this clip, if I select the other eye, it kind of select this whole face. Now you can hold Alt or Option if you're on Mac and unselect the various parts of his face, but it actually continues to unselect stuff that I want to actually use. So what I did instead was hit Control Z, go back. Like I did when I selected, I'm gonna grab another magic mask. Then I'll take the output of the media 1 and connect it to the magic mask 2. I select it and flick it over to the viewer. Now only the magic mask is in view. And once again, I'll select his eye. I'll track back and forth on this one. Then I go back to my first one and track it as well. Now that one's done, I'm gonna go back to this one. I'll pinch and flick. I can bring it back in the viewer. I'm gonna recheck post multiply image. Then I'm gonna track it again. Well, track it as well. If I click on the media out and hit 2 on the keyboard, I'm gonna check the output of the magic mask 2 and connect it back to the magic mask 1. This will create a merge node. Now you see both are there. I go back to my magic mask 1, go to Mac, then tweak the roll dialect and whatever settings I need to smooth up those edges. If I go back over here to tracking, you notice I didn't select better when tracking, because when I did do so, it actually made the mask too soft, and it was actually showing parts of his face. So I lift it on faster and then just tweak the settings in the Mac controls. Now I'm select the merge 1, he controls space. Select duplicate, grab the duplicate node, go to the inspector and type in the amount of copies I want. I'm gonna type in 10 for now. That little frame 10. I'm gonna set a keyframe on the X and Y. Go about 5 frames in. Then move on the X axis. I shall move to the right. Create the clones. For mine, let's move to 0.515, and that created the clones. Now we need to bring back that background, so I'm gonna grab a merge node from the top. Hit the output of that merge, connect it to the yellow input, which is the background input, and then take the output of the duplicate node and connect it to the crane input, and then connect the output of the merge to the media out. Now this effect is not really necessary, but if you want to, you can go into the duplicate node, go to settings, turn on the motion blur. You can set it however you want to. I usually just crank it up to 10, and then go to the spline tab, select the duplicate node, click here to select all keyframes, and then hit X to smooth out the animation. If I go back to the duplicate node, I can go a few frames in, about 2 to 3, go back to controls, and then click on center and type in 0.5. And that'll return the animation back to default. If you get into the value out today's video, make sure you smash that like button. This is a great way to support the channel. Let's continue on to the video. So now I have my next clip open in Fusion, and hit Control Space and type in dent. Now there are 2 different ones. You're gonna grab the one with the parentheses D and T at the end. Turn down your size and use the X and Y axis to move the dent effect over the eye of your subject, or you can zoom in and grab this little crosshairs here and move it in place. Change from dent 1 to dent 2 the inspector tab. You did can increase or decrease the strength as needed. Once you have your position, go over to the inspector tab, right click on center X and Y, select modify width, and then tracker position. Click on the modifiers tab, change the depth of mode to every frame. If you're in a studio version, you probably have the IntelliTracker. I found that I had better results with the point tracker, so I'm gonna click on point. Then I'm gonna reach up my point tracker by clicking this little handle here. How small is this little white handle here? Click on it. You should zoom in, and I'm gonna make sure the point tracker is over his pupil. Makes it easier to track. And then I'll go to the switches tab and track back and forth. I'm selecting dent 1, Control C or Command C if you're on Mac, and hit Control or Command V to paste it. Then I go into the inspector tab, and I'm gonna double click on the X and Y axis to reset it. Then I'll just grab the crosshairs and move it over his other eye. Then I'm gonna go in and track this by clicking on Center X and Y, modifiers, tracker position, modifier tab, F this mode, change to every frame, point tracker, make sure the point tracker is over his pupil, fake back and forward. Actually, one thing I need to go back Make the tracker, well, we'll go back to tracker 2. Right here it says dent 1. I don't actually want to trait the dent. I want to trait the media on. I'm gonna grab this media and then bring it over here and drag and drop. Where is this tracker source? So now it says media 1. I'm actually gonna retract everything. So now I have this crazy eye effect. I can go into my dent 1. I'm actually gonna keyframe the effect. So I'm gonna hit this little pin icon up here to lock it in place. I'm gonna click on the dent 1-1. Didn't expect this to have a dent 1-1. I'm gonna right click on strength and select the expressions. I'm gonna select the pick loop and to make it to strength. So basically gonna link these two parameters together. So now I go to dent 1, double click here with the numbers, type in 0 to basically get rid of the effect. And go to about frame 6, set a keyframe, and go to frame 12. Then increase the size. And then go to frame 19, set another keyframe to lock it in place. And go to frame 20, set another keyframe, and go to the end of composition, and then turn this back to 0. The original video, his eyes is bulging throughout the whole time, but I just wanted to show you how you can not only keyframe, but how you can link two parameters together. So for the next effect, I got 3 clips on my timeline, 2 from the same video, and then 1 from a different clip. If I select them all, right click and go to new Fusion clip, and then go into Fusion. I'm gonna delete these merge nodes and the background node. I'm gonna click on my media 1, hit 2 on the keyboard to identify which clip is which. This clip is the clip I'm gonna transition into. I'm gonna move it to the side for now. I'll just take my media 2 and click it to the media out. Select the media out and hit 2 on the keyboard to bring it into the main viewer. You're gonna go back and use a Mac control node once again. So I'll bring it to my pipeline. Then I'm gonna grab another rectangle mask. I'm gonna right click on the rectangle mask and connect it to the Mac control node in the foreground. I'm gonna turn width all the way up. Then I'm gonna click on the y-axis here, double click and type in 0.25. That'll bring it to the bottom half of the composition. Then I grab another Mac control node. I'll right click on my media 3 and connect it to the Mac control node and connect it to the background. I'm gonna grab this rectangle mask. I'll copy it by hitting Control C. I'll double click it into space and then hit Control V. Right click and then paste it into the foreground. I'll take the output of my Mac control, connecting it to the other one, creating a merge. Then I click on this rectangle mask, go over to the Inspector tab. On the y-axis, double click again and type in 0.75. It's going to create a split screen. So now this bottom clip here, you can't actually see the subject. So I'm going to move my media 2 up. Then I'm going to go up to the toolbar and grab a transform. Now just move it down the y-axis. I'll do the same for the first one too. So I click on media 3, grab a transform, move it up a little bit on the y-axis, just kind of keep them centered. Then I'm gonna click on my media 1. I'm gonna hit 2 on the keyboard to bring it into view. Then I'm gonna go over here and grab the magic mask from my toolbar. Then I'm gonna take the output of the media 1 and feed it into the magic mask. And I'm gonna click 2 on the keyboard for the magic mask and select my subject. So now I got my subject track masked out. I'm gonna take the output of the magic mask and connect it to the merge 1, grid merge 2. And now I need to create the transition. I'm gonna use Mac control node for this as well. So grab another Mac control, do disconnect from the merge 2, connected to that Mac control, then connect the Mac control back to the merge 2. So right now I'm just gonna grab the rectangle 1, hit Control C. I'm gonna click into space, hit Control V. I'm gonna right click on the output and connect it to the Mac control, selecting the foreground. Now this situation is a little different. You see here, that should make the background turn black. I'm gonna click on the Mac control node, go over to the Inspector tab. Right here where it says copy, hit the drop down and change it to and. Now this will bring back our transparency. Then I'm gonna grab another Mac control. I'm gonna repeat the process again. So grab this secondary rectangle mask, Control C, Control V, right click, connect the output, connect it to the foreground. And this time I'm gonna take the output of this media 1 and connect it to the input or the background of the Mac control. We're gonna connect it to the merge 2 to get a merge 3. Now if you go back and look at the clip, you'll see there's actually kind of like it's a fade in at the top. Until the bottom part flips out. And then see back in the Fusion do that. I have an organization. I'm gonna click on this Mac control here, hit F2 and change it to top. Then I'll change this one to bottom. And I actually need to make a correction. I need to disconnect this media 1 from here. Right click on the magic mask and connect it to the Mac control node in the background. That will make our clip transparent again. So now I'm gonna click on the bottom. You control space. I'm gonna look for a DVE node. And with the DVE node, we'll be able to rotate this up on a 90-degree angle. So we're just gonna double click here and type in 90 degrees. And just gonna type in -90. And then the rectangle mask, we're just gonna move it up on the y-axis all the way up. Actually, I'm gonna Control Z to go back. I'm gonna add a softness to it. I'm gonna turn it all the way up, and then we're gonna animate it. Then before I do that, I'm gonna move this on up on the y-axis, move it off screen. Now I'm gonna set a keyframe at frame 24 on the y-axis, and I'm also set one on the soft edge. I'm gonna go about 10 frames in frame 34, and then I'm gonna set this back to 0.75, and I'm gonna set this to 0. That slowly comes in. Then going back to frame 34. I'm gonna go back to this DVE node, go to the x-axis, instead of keyframe, then go about 5 to 10 frames in again. Then we hit this little notch here to reset it back to default. Then I'm gonna click on my rectangle mask, go into the spline tab, and basically gonna smooth everything out. Go select all keyframes, and you're gonna hit S to smooth to keep it simple. Now, of course, in this video, I didn't go over all the effects in this video. There are a crap ton of them. If you find something you're interested in, feel free to drop a comment down below. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.